Thank you very much, Alison, and thank you very much to the ministers, TDs, senators, councillors, colleagues, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Delighted that you could all make it to my gaff. You're very much welcome. A bit of history about the room itself, the Oak Room. It was built in 1715 after a discussion with Joshua Dawson when he was selling his home in 1715 to Dublin Corporation. Dublin Corporation was looking for a permanent home for the mayor at the time and had a look at the house, didn't think it was big enough because they wanted to entertain and show off their wealth, and said to Joshua, look, not big enough unless you built on a big entertaining space, we're not interested. So Joshua built the Oak Room, and so this room has stood here since 1715 and has been used for all sorts of gatherings, and tonight I'm delighted that it's been held for this really important discussion. Can you hear me? Yeah. So, just a few things. I would like to commend the Green Foundation for its tremendous work in assembling us all here this evening to listen to the excellent panels and contribute to this much needed discussion. The event is built around an important theme. How can we ensure that green messaging is effective? How do we make sure that our communications get through? Why we should build a greener future and how we should do it. How do we make sure that our communications is based on clear understandings of where people are at, that speaks to them, is accessible and persuasive? By the way, when I say we, I mean every person who is concerned about the mistakes us humans have made and the systems we have created and the destruction we have let loose upon the world. I mean all of us who want to get it right, who want to ensure a better, greener future. Not just politicians, not just NGOs and campaigners, but citizens who see the future and want it to be bright. I'm really looking forward to this discussion because I think we really need to get better at this. This is not an academic matter. This is a live issue that affects the future of our planet. Awareness is important and doing the right thing is even better, but it's not enough. We need to build a wider platform. We need to get society behind the efforts to create a better world. It's not good enough for us to get it when it comes to climate or biodiversity. It's not good enough for our governments to get it. And it's definitely not good enough for us to leave our media, both traditional and new media, to be dominated by vested interests and bad faith actors. We cannot leave the stage to others. We have an obligation, a moral obligation, to get our communications right. If we think that we're on the side of the angels and leave our communications to others, then we're failing. If we believe that being on the right side of history is the main thing, then we could fail to make history. We simply must get on the stage and engage and win in the public sphere. We must put our best foot forward. We must shape the debate. When I was a child, I read Dr. Seuss' book, The Lorax, and I'm sure many of you have also watched it on TV or cinema or read the book also. It's a great story. A boy living in a polluted area meets a strange man, the Onceler, who tells him the story of how years earlier he had arrived in a beautiful land dominated by the forest of truffle trees and a wide diversity of animals. He cut a tree down and used it to knit an attractive piece of clothing called a theed. But a creature, the Lorax, popped up and gave out to him. He spoke for the trees. The Onceler sold the theed and went on to build a big business, chopping down the truffle trees by hand, then by machine, opening a shop, employing his relations, and building a huge factory to grow and grow the business. The forest deforested, and despite the warnings of the Lorax, the Onceler biggered everything, and the land became choked with pollution and the animals died or left. Eventually one of the machines cut down the last truffle tree. The business failed and all the Onceler's relatives left. The Lorax left behind a stone platform with just one word carved onto it: unless. I remember being very upset reading this book. The Garden of Eden had been turned into a hellscape. The Onceler regretted what he had done, and pined away, pondering what was meant by unless. But here's the thing. As he finished the story to the boy, he suddenly got the message. Unless someone cares, things will not get better. He handed the boy the last truffle of seed and urged him to grow a forest from it, a forest that the loricks and the animals could return to. Dr. Seuss's story is the best piece of green messaging that I have ever come across. It's not just a great story, which speaks a truth to me. It has shaped my own understanding. It spells out the issues, the problems that we humans have created for ourselves. And it offers us hope. The seed to be planted by someone who cares. That is the hope for the future of the world. We have a duty to carry that seed, to plant it, to nurture it. And we have a duty to bring our relatives with us, our friends, our neighbours, our nation, and our world. We have a duty to grow that forest and for our society to value it. And we cannot do that without really effective communications. That's why I'm here. And that's why I really am looking forward to listening to the discussion here tonight and to learn more about how we can break through the noise and the negativity and together grow that forest. Thank you.